There are two types of people that buy real estate. You have real estate consumers and you have real estate investors. Consumers are literally buying a home to live in for their family, raise their kids in, whatever, right? But an investor, they don't buy a home to live in, they buy a home to rent out, and that's because they can make a lot of this. In today's video, we're gonna talk about secret real estate properties that investors love, because if you're a subscriber of my channel, I love showing you how to make maximum dollars in the game of real estate. If you're new to me, my name is Kris Krohn. I've transacted over 6,000 single family homes, and today I'm gonna share with you the secret places that investors go to get the very best deals.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Imagine for a moment, like buying a property and making 50 grand on it, or what about $100,000? Well, I'll tell you what, $100,000 can solve a lot of problems for people, which is what interests a lot of people of getting into the game of real estate in the first place. Or if you're a successful real estate investor, you might be out there making millions of dollars because you already understand all this. I'm gonna assume today that you might be a little bit new to the game and really help you understand why people get into real estate investing in the first place. If you're looking to buy a new piece of property and you look at today's sky-high prices, you might be thinking, this is a scary time to buy. I don't know if I want to take on that much real estate or that much mortgage. They've gone up so much in value. However, those overwhelming price tags are typically attached to homes that are in really good condition, top dollar. If you want to find a more budget-friendly deal, you're going to want to search where the investors go, which is distressed properties. Now, what is a distressed property? Well, a distressed property is a home that is on the brink of foreclosure, or it's already owned by the bank, or it's been repossessed by the mortgage lender. Real estate investors often seek out distressed houses because there's an opportunity to buy low, sell high. They literally can get a deal on the property, and these properties are typically fixer-uppers. They're gonna require significant repairs and renovations, but if you know how to play that game, there's a lot of money in it. And if you wanna know the most common reason for a home to be classified as a distressed property, it has little to do with the property and usually everything to do with the homeowner. It's someone that got behind on property taxes or they got behind on their mortgage. And you know, we've been facing some serious inflation for the last 4 years, and that is starting to erode people's financial well-being to the point that we're definitely seeing an influx in foreclosures. And what that also means is an influx of opportunity if you know how to play the game.
You smell that? What is that?
Opportunity.
No, money.
Okay.
I like making a study of successful people, and Warren Buffett is one of them. In his book, Snowball, he reveals the secret that helped him as a pauper by the time he was 55 years old become a billionaire for the first time, and since has made tens of billions of dollars and has donated tens of billions of dollars.
I think I read Warren Buffett say something like that. No,
What?
not right.
Who's Warren
Yeah.
Buffett?
And his philosophy, whether it's in real estate or business, is the same. It's very simple. Buy low, sell high. He actually calls it a margin of safety. In other words, the more distressed the business is, or the lower the price you get on it, the greater chance you have of success. Think about it this way. If you bought a home with a 5% discount versus a 50% discount, what's a safer position? Well, the home bought with a 50% discount is actually much safer, because even if you had to sell it in a flash, you could still sell it at a discount and make a handsome profit. Now, in this video, I want to discuss with you 3 types of distressed properties. We're going to talk about short sales, we're going to talk about REOs, and we're going to talk about foreclosures. So what is a short sale? Well, imagine that the person living in this really tiny house is struggling to make their mortgage payments, and they realize that they're not just going to go into default, they're actually going to lose the home to foreclosure. And what they're actually thinking is, if I have a foreclosure on my credit, it could stay on there for a decade, which is going to be bad if I ever want to like get a cell phone or like rent a house, or if I want to get a car. It's like my credit score is going to be ruined. Let's not have a foreclosure. What can we do? They hire a specific type of realtor. They basically reveal that they're not making their payments, and they ask that realtor to list the home on the multiple listing service, MLS, at a huge discount. Like, let's just say it's a $300,000 home, and then they're like, just list it for $150,000 or $200,000. That should attract a lot of investors. And sure enough, all the investors come out of the woodwork and they evaluate the deal and they start putting in offers thinking, oh my gosh, I might get this house at a steal of a deal. The novice investor doesn't know is that if it's a short sale, you have to get the bank's approval to sell it at that low price. So essentially what the realtor does is they stack up these 100 offers. They go to the bank and say, bank, my client is going to lose this home in foreclosure to you, but we might be able to speed up the process because foreclosure process is expensive and it takes time. Instead, look at these 100 offers and see if there's one of them that you like. And the bank may actually come back and say, you know what? Foreclosure is expensive and we can deal with this really quickly if we just approve selling this house at a loss. And if they do, that investor is awarded an amazing opportunity to buy a house at a huge discount. One of the first 5 deals that I actually bought was a short sale. It had actually been listed on the market for a few months. They had already received over 100 offers. The house was kind of by the railroad tracks. It was for 165 grand. And on the MLS, they were offering it for $90,000. Well, I got good news from my realtor that the bank was actually at the end of the short sale process and they were about to select the bidder. And even though they had received 100 offers, I slipped mine right in on the top of the deck and they came back to me and the bank said, we'll actually sell this house to you. So I got a really sweet deal because it was a short sale. Next, you have foreclosures. And this is where the bank says, well, we're in the foreclosure process. A typical foreclosure can cost $40,000 to $60,000 and it can take months. And so what the bank will do is they'll say, this is gonna cost us even more time and money with our money locked up. We have got to sell this house and get it off the books. So they list it on the MLS as a foreclosure. That will also attract a lot of investors. Now there is a secret that I like to use when buying a foreclosure. I have the realtors that I'm working with and my own internal team scouring the MLS, waiting for the moment a foreclosure hits the market. So I'm immediately notified. And if I can get my offer in before anyone else and basically tell them I want a response today at 5 p.m., not in 48 hours, often the bank will come back, they'll award me the deal, and guess what? Because I was wicked fast, I got a sweet deal. And then finally, you have REOs. This is where a bank owns real estate on their books. They're past the foreclosure process. And banks really hate owning real estate. They love to lend on it. And so they typically are super motivated to sell their real estate at a really heavy discount, which is why short sales, foreclosures, and REOs are all really great places to look for distressed deals. There's 2 essential pros of buying distressed properties. The first one is you can lock in a low price. In fact, that is the main appeal of a distressed property. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to fix things up, but if I get a really good price, it might be really, really worth it. Number 2, a low price equates to a potential for really high profits. The advantage of buying low and selling high rings true in real estate investing because these distressed properties, when you eventually sell them, you get to make a grundle of money. Real estate held an interesting draw for me when I got in the game because at the time I was making less than $50,000 a year and I was trying to figure out how to get ahead. And by doing a deal where I could make over $50,000 and did another deal where I made over $100,000, that was such a big deal to me because I was like, wait a second, real estate's relatively passive. You're telling me that by finding a distressed property and a really good deal and by holding it for a period of time and selling it, I can make more money than working full-time at my job 2,000 hours a year? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. But there's also disadvantages of buying distressed properties. For example, there's potential for some very serious repairs. And if you buy a house and you get into the repair situation and open up a wall and find, termites, or maybe the house tested positive for meth, the second reason why distressed properties can have some disadvantages is because sometimes they take a long time to close. You might think that buying a distressed property reduces some of the transaction time, but in actuality, it's the opposite. So, should you buy a distressed property? Well, at first glance, foreclosures, REOs, short sales, they can look like incredible bargains. And if you're operating with a small budget, finding one of those lower priced homes might seem like your ticket to becoming a homeowner. But you need to be careful. Distressed properties can create distressed owners who feel the worries of the money pit of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I was adequately prepared for everything that I needed to do to fix up this home. Let me end by sharing with you the most important lesson that I learned in real estate. In the beginning, I did a lot of distressed properties. I did a lot of fixer-uppers. And that's because I thought you had to buy a fixer-upper for this to work. What I realized is that I could always get a really good deal on a fixer-upper, but I started realizing that if I was fast enough at securing a good deal, I could actually find homes that were priced 10, 15, 20% below market that actually didn't need a lot of fix-up. In fact, I would often do a lease option with them, meaning I would do like a rent-to-own program. I'd buy the house. I wouldn't really fix it up because it didn't need too much. It was maybe old or dated, and I'd make twice as much money doing that than I could actually fixing up a rental. In other words, bring a hammer if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you need to fix something to feel good. I've since learned how to make even more money without even needing to fix up properties. And ultimately, if you want to learn the passive approach to making even more money than doing the heavy lifting, click the link below and learn about partnering with me. There's a way for you and I to team up. I've already found the good deals. I'm already in those markets. We could literally team up and split the profits equally. And if you're interested in that, click the link below, learn about partnering with me. Now, if you are that DIYer that's like, dude, Kris, I love Home Depot and Lowe's and I know how to fix stuff and I wanna do that and I wanna do real estate with my bare hands, you definitely need to watch this video because there are 5 don'ts when investing in real estate because you run the greatest risk of hurting yourself if you don't know the more passive approach. So get yourself educated right now and let me show you how to avoid the top 5 pitfalls and mistakes that investors make.